There are many different kinds of lasers. Laser is an acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. In the past, the U.S. military has experimented with chemical lasers. These require large volumes of dangerous chemicals to create the reaction needed to output a powerful laser. The U.S. Air Force tested the airborne laser in the 90s and early 2000s, which was a modified 747 to shoot down missiles at and launch. The program cost around $5 billion over 16 years before it was canceled. Solid-state lasers, although complex, have fewer moving parts and do not need large quantities of chemicals to generate power.
Directed energy weapons like iron beams come in two forms typically. That's high-power microwave, HPM, and high-energy laser, HEL. HEL basically just focuses a beam or beams of energy to cut, melt, and it's like the damage on whatever target you want. But because it takes time to inflict that damage, it does have some issues with, you have to stay on target. You have to maintain that. But it doesn't need a manual reload like a regular tank. You can just rely on power, and that's referred to as unlimited magazine depth. They also have legal hurdles to contend with.
Yeah, under current interpretations of international law, laser weapons are generally not considered usable against people, so directly against people. So you can use them against platforms, you can use them against weapons, but using them as an anti-personnel weapon is considered to be illegal.
The U.S. Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force are all testing, fielding, or researching new ways to use lasers.
We're going to start with 100 kilowatt class lasers and then scale the powers, the beam powers up, and the beam directors and everything else you need to get those beams on target up over time to first handle these kinds of drone missions and then move into cruise missile threats and then finally into strategic missile threats. So you might think ballistic missile hypersonic weapons.
The Air Force has considered lasers for fighters, the Army as part of short-range air defense, the Navy as a way to take on drones and small boats, among other defense department needs. And as these high-powered lasers move from testing to operation, the Defense Department will likely find more uses for these high-tech tools. During the last 2 decades, Israel has developed a system to intercept small and mid-range rockets launched by armed groups such as Hamas.
The Army really to focus on both of the short-range missiles, mortars, and unmanned air vehicles at ranges up to about 20 or 30 kilometers.
The Iron Dome system, designed and built by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems and Israel Aerospace Industries, and working with the help of Raytheon in the U.S. in the case of some missile production, launches a missile that intercepts rockets in midair.
It's also effective because it's able to use initially just algorithms and now AI-enabled algorithms to figure out and predict where the incoming threats are likely to land and determine whether they are constitute something they need to shoot down or not. So if an incoming missile, for example, a rocket, is going to hit an uninhabited area, Iron Dome will ignore it and focus its attention on those threats that are likely to hit a populated area or a target it's trying to protect.
The system must detect and launch in a matter of seconds to successfully intercept the target. The cost of each interceptor is enormous compared to the cost of the rocket it intercepts, which is one reason Israel has pushed for the Iron Beam system. Each shot by the Iron Beam costs $100, but the system is still in development. The Iron Beam also uses a novel method in which multiple laser beams are used in unison to aim at one target. However, the laser can be hindered by weather, and it has a relatively short range, which means that it works better alongside the Iron Dome as a complete system rather than by itself. The cost of the system is only $2 per interception, compared with the Iron Dome, which costs around $50,000 per interceptor.
Now, the Iron Beam system is not operational yet, so it's expected to be operational later this year or early next year. So it's not yet being used in the Israel-Hamas conflict right now. But it's expected to be, or planned to be, a 100 kilowatt laser, which is about the minimum size you need in order to be able to shoot down a rocket or a missile.
The U.S. military has fielded close-in weapon systems to target rockets and mortar rounds for years. CRAM, or Counter-Rocket Artillery and Mortar, which is a land-based version of a sea-oriented system used by the Navy, was utilized in Iraq and Afghanistan to take down small threats to U.S. troops. The cost of thousands of rounds of 20-millimeter ammunition can add quickly, which is one reason the U.S. Army has looked into lasers for short-range air defense. The Navy has started fielding a system called high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, and it costs around $100 million for the initial production, testing, and integration of the first devices.
The current generation of U.S. Navy destroyers will carry Helios. And that's probably about the most they can power on a continuous basis and cool on a continuous basis. The Flight 3 destroyers that are being built now have more spare power capacity, and so the idea would be they're going to be supporting up 150 to 300 kilowatt laser within their own power capacity and cooling capacity.
The Air Force is looking at a mobile laser called H4. The early prototypes cost around $13 million each, but the big savings, like with iron beams, is in the cost per intercept, which is quite low compared to laser missiles. And the Army is using lasers for its short-range air defense mission. The DEM SHORAD, or Direct Energy Maneuver Short-Range Air Defense Vehicle. Can you
these fingers are using laser even on our equipment to make it about, to make it it's working actually. Even my two fans got burned off. And these fingers are even making this laser system for making our laptop, our phone, our fan, it won't work due to the effect of space actually. And these, I had two fans before, and those two fans got burned by. And why these fingers burned that fan actually? Because if I use that fan, then these fingers chemicals won't affect that as much. These fingers burned actually. So these fingers burned those two fans. And you all know how the ceiling fan will be working, how fast it will be working. When we come to a new building, it will be working proper, and after that, suddenly it will start working very slow. Why? Because these fingers will be doing something so that the power. The power will not flow in its exact form actually. It will be less actually, I think. And so our fan won't work actually. And this is also creates energy wastage, I think, and that's why our current bill is. Will be always high. We are having just one bedroom and we are always sitting inside one bedroom. And I asked for one pedestal and how much it will be. Then they said just calling something per day, not even 1 unit, less than that actually. And but our current bill will be very high. And this month we were not using any fan or anything. We are just using to that. Of course.